Our next debate is coming from the city of Bangalore. This is where a crackdown on illegal land continues thanks to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has now directed the Bangalore Development Authority to take back 7 sites which were allotted illegally to VVIPs. This includes the state's sitting Home Minister. The top court has observed that mere cancellation of allotment is not enough and that has in fact instructed that the government and the BBMC needs to take possession of all controversial sites as well. Let me go straight across to our guests who are joining us for a very, very quick chat. We have Madhu Rao, who's a BJP spokesperson. Aishwarya Mahadev is a Congress spokesperson. And Mr. Madhu N Rao is a senior journalist joining us on the broadcast. Madhu N Rao, any comments on what surely is looking like some degree of embarrassment for your government in the state?
I could not. Information.
Okay,
see, these are all the allotments. Yeah, as far as my information goes, these are all the allotments which date back to 2006, 2007, 2008, and 10. Nothing has happened now. Point number 1. Point number 2. Now, see, these are all G category sites which are given to those people who are in public life. Now, this is as per the BDA rules. Nothing, it has gone as per the rules. But there was an amendment. I just want to point out very technical aspect in this. There was an amendment in 2003 when S.M. Krishna was the chief minister, where it told that alternative sites can be given for any reason, such as if there is a litigation, if there is a stay on the property or so. And the decision had to be taken by an allotment committee, which was approved by the BDA at that point of time. So they took a decision to give it. And now the court has told that it is wrong. Fair enough. So therefore, these actions, whatever has happened, is not during our time. It was during that period of time. And this court has told specifically, okay, you cancel it. It is not only mere cancellation is not enough. There has to be a deed which needs to be given. Fair enough. So considering that, in fact, our Home Minister himself has come forward to give that side. So what I intend to tell is this, that there has no misinformation or so to say that wrongdoing which has happened during this time. It was all based on 2007 decision, 2008, 2006 decision. Okay. All these allotments have happened. And by the way, let me also give you... Please, Shreya.
Aishwarya, I apologize to you. Mr. Madhavan, I apologize to you as well to have kept you waiting. Aishwarya, go ahead, please. You've heard what Madhu has said. Madhu has said, well, why are you blaming us? The allotments didn't happen during our time. It's as simple as that. It is the Congress that needs to answer this question.
Good evening, Shreya. And I think if you read the recent news reports, you'll see that the allocation of sites, including to the Home Minister Araga Gnanendra, was done in violation of a rule of 2021. And let me remind the BJP who was in power in 2021. Let us also look at the people who have gotten the 7 people that have gotten these allocations of sites in a very prime area of North Bangalore. And you'll know exactly and precisely why the BJP spokesperson will speak about the pre-BJP era while not talking directly about what has happened in 2021 and the officers who are in violation of it. The singular fact now is this: if the BJP claims to be a party of difference, they shouldn't have the Supreme Court or the High Court or reports hauling them up to actually talk about malpractice. They should be the people that should take the initiative to act upon it. But what did the BJP government do? Or what did they force the officers to do? Was to act in defiance of rules already laid down. And the Home Minister and several other ministers got very, very prime property, 50 by 80 sites that are there. I think the issue larger, Shreya, is, let me be bipartisan when I say this, that over years, you've seen a lot of VIP sites being bestowed upon a lot of legislatures. What initially started as a practice to allow a place of residence for legislators that come from North Karnataka or from, 600, 700 kilometers away to have a place of residence also instead of the legislator's home, is turned into a larger sort of exorbitant exercise that has to be looked into. The BJP, however, cannot escape its responsibility in this case, and we really hope hope that they will accede to what the court has spoken about, and the ministers will make apologies. And mind you, the last time the BDA chairperson himself was changed when the issue of this matter came into question, Shreya, and that is something the BJP should talk about.
Okay. Mr. Narayan, how do you place the story? Where do you place the story? The Supreme Court has done what it has done. But do you see this as any sort of political embarrassment for any of the two parties? Because after all politicians have benefited from the schemes.
What worries me, Shreya, is that we should not look at it as a political issue, although that is what it is all about. It's about a system of largest dispensation, what I call a democratic jagirdari. That's what is happening right now. Early in the good old days, when a king used to win a war, jagirs used to be awarded to the favorite ones. And in the US, they call something called the spoil system. Okay, in India, we have created a spoil system, come jagirdari kind of a thing. What is important is that public servants need to be given a reasonably good salary, which is transparent in order to minimize corruption. And once that is there, any facilities provided to them, whether it is a house or a transport facilities as airfare allowance or taxis or cars, should be essentially for discharge of public duties, not permanent immovable assets granted sort of out of turn. Or, the important thing to note is, even if it is legal, I have a problem with this, because the real question is the laws are written by these people. So if something is unacceptable and somebody simply signs it into law, it doesn't become legal in a moral sense. So we have created a culture of a privilegencia. The Adarsh housing scam in the US, in Mumbai, comes into mind. Remember, there was a major demolition long before the Noida demolition that took place recently on violation of land laws. There was the Adarsh housing scam, which was a test case in which military officers, government bureaucrats, and politically connected people all got land. So we have a systemic problem in India, and what has happened in Karnataka is just another one. And it's become fashionable for BJP and Congress to cite technical rules to play a game of tutu meme. Now, I do like what Aishwarya Madhav said. She was, given that she's a political spokeswoman, she was quite reasonably bipartisan and honest on this. So she took some of my words away, so stole my thunder, so to speak. But it's important. I compliment her. It's very difficult. Okay. But it's important to understand. We have to draw the line as a system.
I'm out of time. Yeah, I understand. You're questioning the system here. I'm out of time. Sandeep, Anirudhan, I'm sorry for this. I can give you 30 seconds. We are seeing bulldozers play out in Bangalore, demolishing illegal construction on stormwater drains. Is it time for the bulldozers to come to the politicians' homes as well now?
Yeah, thanks for having me. See, let me get to the root of the problem. See, the BDA is a den of corruption. And as you rightly mentioned, it's politicians across the board that have benefited. But so there is basically, when it comes to corruption, there are no parties. All parties are involved. But the bigger problem is this: the tip of the iceberg. The entire site issuing function of BDA is mired in corruption. It doesn't really benefit anybody. The question that arises is, why does the government get involved in real estate development? What is the mandate? If at all the government should be involved, it should only be involved in social housing. It should not be involved in, acquiring land of farmers and selling it to wealthy individuals. Only about 10% of sites that the BDA actually issues are for the lower income group. The rest goes to the wealthy. Why should the state be involved in this? The larger context is that the BDA is a planner. It is also an executor. It is also a real estate developer. This is at cross purposes. No body should be involved in these three areas together. It should either be a planner, or it should be a real estate developer, or it should be an executor. So fundamentally, conceptually, the BDA is flawed. So this is an organization that's outlived its utility.
Hopefully some lessons have been learned. Sandeep, hopefully some lessons have been learned today. after what the Supreme Court has said and done. I'm afraid completely out of time here. I do apologize to you. This was supposed to be a 20-minute discussion that got, truncated. But thank you very much, Madhu, for joining us. Aishwarya for joining us as well. Mr. Madhu N Rao, and of course, Sandeep for joining us as well. With that, it's a wrap from me on Urban Debate. Thanks for watching. Good night, and I'll see you once again tomorrow.